The intrigue surrounding Severance continues to deepen with its second season, offering tantalizing clues while raising even more questions. One particular element that has captured the attention of fans is Cold Harbor. But you might be asking, especially if you clicked on this video, what is Cold Harbor? The term Cold Harbor has surfaced as a significant clue regarding Lumon's secretive operations, although its full implications remain shrouded in mystery. The repeated reference suggests it plays a pivotal role in the company's sinister agenda. Speculations abound as fans attempt to piece together the puzzle of Lumon's true evil intentions. So the idea of cloning and Severance is nothing new. In fact, even in the first season, this is a theory that has been thrown around. More specifically, MDR and what exactly they are refining. And this is thought to be rebuilding the memories of the dead members of the Egan family in clone form. However, the creators have explicitly said that cloning was not what was going on. So, okay, let's take this as gospel and say that cloning and all theories to do with cloning is off the table. You might think this is where we hit a dead end, and honestly, I did as well, but I don't know. I actually think there's a theory that fits a little bit better than cloning, and that is androids. I know it sounds far out, but before you comment and tell me I'm an idiot, and again, if we're taking the creators at their word and rebuilding the dead from organic matter / cloning is off the table, well then rebuilding someone's memory and personality and putting them into an android is the only thing that fits. And in fact, again, I just think this maybe even fits a little bit better. In the perpetuity wing that we see in season 1, there's these creepy animatronics of the Egans. These animatronics are even mentioned again in the first episode of season 2. Is this a major clue to what's really going on? So there's a theory going around on Reddit that kind of blew my mind, y'all. In season 1, Dylan mentions Mark's incredible achievement known as his freshman fluke. Mark's innie persona astonishingly completes his first file in just one day, a feat that possibly has never been achieved before or since. Now, we know that Mark is beyond valuable to Lumon. This was strongly hinted at in season 1, but it's made explicitly clear this season. And I think part of this is because of Mark's freshman fluke. We learn in episode 1 of season 2 that other refiners are just lazy and frankly hate doing anything, never hitting quota. Mark and his team, however, seem to make huge strides even while sneaking around, going to other departments, and having secretive meetings in the utility closet. We still don't know why Gemma / Miss Casey, Mark's wife, was chosen for Cold Harbor, but in case you need a quick refresher, here is what we know so far. Mark's wife died in a car crash. New information from season 2 confirms that Mark identified the body. Now, we never see this in flashback as of the time of this recording, so how much of Gemma was left to ID is really up in the air. We know Lumon has its tentacles in almost all aspects of life in this company town, so it's not a stretch for them to be able to swap out a body depending on the state of it. We know Mark only started working at Lumon after Gemma died, as he tried to go back to teaching but had some kind of breakdown. Again, this incident was suggested but never seen, at least so far. But probably the biggest thing is in season 2 we get this screenshot with Gemma / Miss Casey and the Cold Harbor file. So it's pretty easy to deduce that the quote important and mysterious work Mark is doing is rebuilding his wife's memory. If this works, then Keir Egan and the other Egans can be brought back. So as a refresher, MDR sorts code based on the 4 tempers. I think that not only is Mark rebuilding Gemma's memories, but refining them to represent these 4 tempers. This screenshot is what has had fans buzzing, so I want to take a look at it with y'all and kind of break it down. Starting at the top left corner, we see, of course, Cold Harbor, the file Mark is working on, connected to Gemma / Miss Casey. The bar here seems to represent how it's almost complete. We know the project is very nearly done, so this would check out. ID number / IT build number. I think both of these are basically just how they identify the subject. Next, we see the vital signs, which shows how Gemma / Miss Casey is physically functioning. Speaking of which, many fans, including myself, have noted how when we have seen Miss Casey, she's very subdued and zombie-like. And while, at least at the time of this recording, we haven't really gotten a flashback of her pre-wellness, from photos and context clues, we know she was just very lively. Below that, there are some rings, and honestly, I'm stumped, y'all, so if you have an idea of what this means, let me know in the comments. On the bottom, we see the macro dat boxes that the refiners sort. This seems to feed the theory that they are rebuilding her memory and personality, but further refining them to strictly obey the 4 tempers. Top right, not sure what this is, but I didn't want anyone to think that I missed this or skipped over it. Bottom right, we have another series of numbers that I'm kind of puzzled with. Now, I think these numbers are the most intriguing, so let's go over each one of them. Okay, so I don't know if this is supposed to represent pocket time, but this could be how long the refiners have to filter the data, and the rate could be just the rate of effectiveness of the data that is being filtered. Duration, this is pretty self-explanatory, but it could just mean how long the file has been active. Now, there's some other things that just really puzzle me about this, and I'm not super worried because Severance has been pretty reliable about answering a lot of questions in a very satisfying way, but I just wanted to pose it here in this video. If Mark was chosen to work on Cold Harbor because of his skills, why work on somebody he is intimately involved with? You might say, well, what better way to test Miss Casey / Gemma's memories or lack thereof by having her interact with somebody like Mark? Yet, we know that Miss Cobell wasn't actually supposed to be running her own tests like the ones we see in season 1. And these tests consist of whether or not Mark and Gemma knew each other. So, unless I'm missing something, Lumon wasn't really interested in performing these kinds of tests, so it still begs the question, why Gemma? It's not like they couldn't get a dead or dying person for an experiment, so why her and why Mark? We know Mark is an amazing refiner, but why not have him work on someone else unknowingly? One of the other biggest mysteries is, where the heck even is Miss Casey / Gemma? The MDR crew is literally looking for her, but my guess is she's being worked on in whatever is going on in the testing floor. So there are some theories about Cold Harbor, which is a mystery that has me totally hooked. But I want to know what y'all think, what your theories are. Please weigh in the comments. While you're here, please check out some of these other videos, and I will see y'all in the next one.